Good morning, my people. How are y'all doing today? It's your girl T. Y'all know me. And I'm back with another one. Okay, so how y'all been? Hopefully blessed. Hopefully happy. Hopefully ecstatic. Look, I'm going to keep it real genuine, okay? Y'all who watched me know me. And y'all know that I am for the truth and the truth only. So, let's talk about it. I got some tea. Y'all, we gonna do my wig today. Yeah, it's just a wig. We ain't gonna play with the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna play with it because I ain't got no lace glue. So yeah. Anyway, my little baby off to school. It's a Tuesday morning. You know me, a day late, but happy as can be. Happy October, y'all. So I'm gonna start getting into my little spooky details in life and stuff, and I'm gonna let y'all know what's popping and what's happening with me. So today I'm just gonna go and do what I do, you know, get ready, have a get ready with me, you know, put my makeup on, put my hair on, y'all know, do my hair, all that good stuff. First I'm gonna start with my coffee, and we're gonna sit here, we're gonna talk, right? Because obviously y'all have noticed that I am not like very active on this page, so I'm gonna catch y'all up on some details in life. You know what I'm saying? And before we get started, background look different. It's not. I'm still at the same apartment. Y'all don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me. Don't come for me, okay? Period. Okay, now y'all, question: It's coffee, just coffee, okay? Eventually, y'all gonna see me stop drinking coffee and all that good stuff, okay? All right. But as of right now, I'm gonna sit back and we're gonna talk because shit, why not, right? Why not talk? Why not conversate? Why not just figure it out? You know? Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Mm. How y'all been? All right. So we're gonna start the story off with. I was gonna change his name, but I'm not going to. He gonna get his 10 seconds effect. Matter of fact, I am gonna change the name, but I don't need to because y'all already seen him. All right, so my daughter's daddy. We're just gonna keep it simple. My daughter's daddy. That's what we're gonna call it. All right, so picture this. Life is going good. No stress, no problems, no baloney. Okay? I get a phone call and a text message from two different people. First person happens to be my daughter's daddy. The second person happens to be my daughter's daddy's mama. Okay? So the first person is calling me, which is my daughter's daddy, calling me, letting me know that he's no longer in the place that he's at, right? Due to something happening with his mama. I'm not going into details because it's not my business to give out like that. But anyway, situation happened to where he needed a place to stay. Okay, cool. I call his other mama, right? And she says, go get my son. So I got him. Bam. Right? I drove an hour and some time to go get this young man. Made sure he was fed, Made sure he was hydrated because he was out in the heat. Y'all, it was bad. And he was telling me all these details of what had happened and this, that, and the third. And then I called the other mama who texted me. So I texted her saying, look, he left some stuff there, this and the third. She said, too bad, it's not his anymore, it's mine. And I went about my business, right? Cool. I turned around, we at the house. Everything seems to be going good. He's chilling, he's copacetic with me. You know, like we talking, and not like talking to get back together, but just like talking in general, talking about how I've felt over this time period. Because if y'all don't know, I'm in the middle of a massive separation with this man. So a few months back, I ended up coming back here to Texas and left him in Iowa because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be left in Iowa. So that's where I left him. I left him, the relationship, and all the excess shit that comes with it. I left in Iowa. Okay? Meaning there's no coming back. And it's not because, you know, he was just like a downright no good dog. No, I've never talked bad about this man ever, right? Nor will I ever, because that's not the type of person I am. I'm honest, 100% honest, but I don't just dog this dude. I don't dog any dude. So let's get into it. So now that he's back in Texas and at the house, he is chilling, copacetic, we're vibing, we're talking, we're, you know, getting some stuff off our chest, you know, our feelings, and going through like the steps of how our relationship just ended and how there's no going back. And he's talking to people every Sunday and getting closer to God, and you know, I want to believe his journey so much. So I do. The whole time this man's been praying, and don't get me wrong, like I understand, I do. And I don't want anybody to feel like their prayers won't be answered, you know what I mean? Like, I want them to feel how they feel. I want them to pray for what they want to pray for. But this is the reason why you can't just pray with everybody, in my opinion. This man was praying for a relationship to be built again, to be healthy and fresh and all this, and I'm praying for joy and happiness and hope and peace and my journey with God and my kids and mom, which is his other mom, and finding a way to survive, to be a single mom out here, you know. It was so good to the point to where this man even applied for jobs, like, but there was this one day where his mom was like, you know, let me correct that. Every Saturday we have movie night, right? And that means we all gather together at some point in the house and we have movie night. So in this time period of her daddy not being here, she had cried for her daddy. So his mom decided she wanted to have, you know, daughter-in-law and mom time, and he have daddy and daughter time, you know? He was asleep, and it seemed like it was all good and dandy and great, but that's not the case. That's not what happened, right? So So we tell him and her that they're gonna have a daughter daddy night where they can watch whatever, in the living room and spend time together. Most girl dads would enjoy those moments, right? Most dads would enjoy those moments, period. This one wasn't for it. He got upset, he got irritated, and yeah, it was abrupt and like out of the blue. But I mean, we figured he would enjoy spending time with his daughter. So, Spirit, typical girl, hops up, excited, right? Because she was just in the living room chilling. Hops up off the couch, goes and grabs her cutest little dress, slides that thing on in the bathroom, brushes her hair, hops out of the bathroom, excited, for her first date, with her daddy. Like, daddy-daughter date night, like, she was excited. And we had gotten pizza. So, the pizza showed up, Mom and I went into the room, got our pizza, chilling. I ate mine quickly. Don't get me wrong, at this point, I knew he was irritated. I knew he was irritated by the way he woke up. I knew he was irritated. Does that make sense? So, at this point, I'm just like, I'm chilling. I'm not like to the point to where we have like a back and forth moment, right? So after I finish my food, I find myself going back into the kitchen to put my plate in the trash. And as I walk by, I see my daughter eating her pizza, watching TV, and I see her dad on his phone, still on the bed, which isn't an issue, I'm happy that they're chilling in the living room. And I go into the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom, Spirit's at the door waiting for Mommy, and she tells me Daddy's not watching the show. And y'all keep in mind, I was in the bathroom for a hot minute. Like, yeah, if y'all know, y'all know. Coffee do what it does, and it does what it do, and it does what it needs to, and I ain't got no complaints, okay? So, I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, you're supposed to be watching a movie with her, not like, on your phone. But not trying to be rude about it. Especially for the fact that she's coming in telling me that you're on your phone means that you've been on your phone since we closed this door. That's how I'm picturing it, right? And then he hauls off and says, well, she's not watching a movie. We've watched this already. Is that really the point? Is it the movie that's the point, or is it something else? Like, legit, is it the movie that's the point, or is it something else? Because at this point, at this time, I'm like, as her mother, it don't matter if we've watched it 5 million times, like the movie Frozen or Moana or, any of the princess movies. We've watched those over and over and over again. But if she picks it for movie night, that's what we're watching. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an issue. Don't get me wrong. We try to, like, expand her mind, Like, how's about this or this? Once she's set on a movie or a show, that's it. There's no going back. That's what we're watching. And, I kind of felt some type of way about it. I'm like, yo, like, bro, like, what? That's your kid you talking about right now. Like, and does it matter? You know? Does it really matter that you've watched it 500 times? No. No, it does not matter. You want to know why it doesn't matter? Because it's supposed to be a date night. You know what I mean? And he acts like he don't watch cartoons. Like, you amped up on anime. Like, bro, come on now. I mean, so many times where I didn't sacrifice my time to where I was like stuck on the show. You know what I mean? But God knows if I would have went in there and be like, hey, let's have a date night, he would have been amped to watch fucking Disney Channel, Hannah Montana, reruns, like for real. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of it messes with my head. You know what I mean? Like, and we had like a 10-second spat where we're like, you know, well, you should be paying attention to her. You know, well, I'm doing an application, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, I 100% understanding putting in applications. Cool, great. Especially when you know you're supposed to go there later on and like meet this person, conversate with this person, this, that, and the third. My thing is that in Iowa, he chose to stay for his Social Security over his kid. And I'm like, this is the exact same thing, except now you're just in Texas. You're still choosing everything else over the baby. And in my head, I'm like, that's not right. So we let him do his own little thing. And Spirit, Mom, and I had a movie night. Cool. Bam. Whatever. Going about our business. Next day, him and Spirit get into it because Spirit's not giving him respect. And, you know, me being me, I'm honest. I'm real. My kids know this. Well, my daughter. And he knows this. His mother knows this. All his family knows this. I'm honest and I'm real. So, oh, and I'm blunt. Very, very blunt. So, when they're in the middle of this little tit for tat, keep in mind, y'all, she's 6. When they're in the middle of this little tit for tat, he always wants to pull me in. And in this circumstance, he was wrong. Y'all know the saying, respect is earned, not just given. And don't get me wrong, she's her daddy's child. You know what I mean? Like, that's her dad. But in a way, it's not. And the reason I say that is because she's 6, and yes, we've been together for 16 years. Well, on and off for 16 years. My thing is that you can't leave this girl's life. And when I say leave, I mean like just ghost. Like for days, weeks, months, and come back. Like, hey, how you doing? You can't leave a child's life and be like, respect me. You know what I mean? Like, he's been with around her for I want to say since she's 4. You know what I mean? Like, we got back together and kept going. You know what I mean? Like, trying to erase the past and keep going. Well, 4, 5, 6. That's 3 years. On and off. Don't let's make this clear. He has not stayed in one location with us for more than 4 months in advance, like on and off, like dip out. Even when we were homeless, he would just dip the hell out for weeks on end and then come back talking about, I missed you guys. And me being stupid, fell for it. Anyway, back to what we were saying. So when it comes to her and, the whole respect thing, it's earned, not just given. And considering you just came back like 3 days ago, you can't ask this little girl for respect after you done dipped out for 3 months. She's old enough to understand now. I'm not saying nothing to her in a negative way towards her daddy. Okay. The other day, when I was taking the trash out, the first and only time something like this has come out my mouth, I was looking at the trash outside, and I realized that her daddy had been throwing the doggies' poop bags inside the trash bag outside, and it slipped out. I was like, man, this man is stupid. And she goes, who? And I said, your daddy. And I look at her and I said, my bad, baby. That wasn't supposed to come out my mouth. Your daddy is not stupid. He just don't think about everything that he does. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to laugh because, it's not funny. That's not something you do. But that's been the one and only time anything negative has ever come out my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I would never, ever imagine something like that happening on a daily just because. So, like I was saying, going back to this moment where they were arguing, he asked me to help, and he said, she should respect me. And I said, well, she can't respect somebody who's never there. Being honest and real. Like I said, I'm very blunt, very honest. I'm not going to start lying to her and making her feel like she's insane when it's you. No, you don't just get respect because, you helped in the process of creating her. No. At this point, you know what you are. And it ain't no daddy. Like, but I'm going to let her make her own mind. I'm not going to sit here. She's a daddy's girl through and through because, she misses and loves her daddy. And I get that. Most girls do. I love my daddy. I love both of them with all my heart. I'm going to let her figure it out. Now, when it comes to the whole, conversation at hand, he was in the wrong because he was expecting a 6-year-old who has experienced all this shit in this time period for her just to respect him, and that's not the case. You know what I mean? That's not how respect is. You got to earn it. And in my opinion, it was not earned. And the proof is in the pudding. You know people by their fruits. She knows him by his fruits, y'all. To the point where these two people, Spirit and her daddy, bump heads hard. So, I'm always in the middle of something. But anyway, so that was problem number 1. He got pissed off, went outside, started cussing up a storm, started, talking underneath his breath, mumbling all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that ain't how we gonna do that. And keep in mind, y'all, I'm chilling at this point. I ain't said nothing. I ain't done nothing to get him to this point. So, I go about my business. The day goes on, his mom comes and, we're talking and chit chat and having a good day. And then, you know, I go outside and he follows me and he wants to talk. And y'all, when I tell you, I don't talk to this man like that. He's expecting me to like turn around and like bow down to him. Y'all, when I tell you this young man is a narcissist, and that's as far as I'm going with it, that's all I gotta say. And I wish and I pray for him and whomever may come his way. Because, y'all, when I tell you he wanted me to bow down, he wanted me to bow down and kiss his feet. Like, not literally, but literally. Yeah. So, obviously the conversation didn't go the way it was supposed to, right? I get, I'm chilling. Yeah. He goes inside because he's pissed off. And yeah, I can't even remember what we were arguing about, but I know it had something to do with a conversation originally about, you know, spirit and respect in him. And when I tell you, baby, that was just a whole whirlwind of nah. Yeah. He goes inside. Literally 15 minutes later, I go inside. I go inside to go talk to mom because, she's where I go to vent it out, to just let it out, and then, that way I don't explode. I left the door open because at this point, I got trust issues. I leave the door open and I'm just talking to her, letting it out. And then all of a sudden, this young man turns to his child and starts talking about me to his child with no remorse whatsoever. And just bringing our 6-year-old kid into the conversation was not the plan. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, when I tell you I was pissed, first thing that came out of my mouth is you don't tell our kid shit. Period. You don't tell our kid nothing. Not a damn thing. At all. Like, no. I don't turn around and tell her your problems. Don't do that. Don't talk down about me in front of me to our kid. Don't do that, because that's how you get the mean side of me out of me. And he knew it. And that's what he was expecting. But that's not what happened. Don't get me wrong, I was pissed and I was heated, and the single me has no remorse for this person. Does that make sense? Like, the married me was like, holding my tongue, like not speaking back, being 70% submissive, because yeah, I've had the whole submissive thing and it didn't turn out very well. So like I said, I have trust issues. And thank God that I did leave that damn door open, because if I would have closed it and he would have said that to my child, yeah, I ain't even gonna say what he said. Just know that it made Keisha pop out. To the point to where we were arguing, and I ended up closing the door, and my my first thought was just to separate us, because like I said, I have no remorse. I have no hesitation being the single me. So instead of continuously spitting venom and continuously getting myself angry enough to want to hurt something or hit something, I walked away. And I closed the door. And mom was trying to calm me down and like bring me back to like the normal level. But that's not where my head was mentally. So I was like, let's go, we're gonna go and leave. And mom was like, go ahead and leave. Keep in mind, literally the day before the car started acting up, like making this weird ass sound, so I parked it. And it hasn't been moved since. But I was like, Spirit and I are just gonna leave. Like, we're not gonna deal with this. Like, we're not gonna take it. Keep in mind, gas tank was already close to E. Like, I used all my income to get this man toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, just stuff that he needed. When he ended up leaving from where he was, he didn't get everything. So I'm like, at this point, I'm broke. So I am like chilling, not thinking about nothing, not doing nothing, like just chilling. And then I realized that my daughter wasn't standing in front of me. She was in her grandmother's arms crying. That's how pissed I was. My focus was only on him. And that's what he enjoys, my focus on him. So once I calmed down, separated myself, and stayed up all night, I was up ready for the morning, drinking coffee. And I was just going to keep myself separate from him all day long. The next morning, our child has to go to school. So she's getting up, she's getting ready, she got her hair done, brushed her teeth, washed her face, got cleaned up, and got clean clothes, right? Grabbed her backpack, and we were about to leave, but then I had to use the restroom. So I said, hey, baby girl, can you grab my water bottle? Which, the rule in this house is that if you get one, you put one back, yeah?